Struggling for ideas for a new save on Football Manager? I get asked this question quite a few times when I'm streaming on YouTube. So on today's show, I'm going to share with you 5 unique challenges that you can apply to the game of Football Manager to spice things up. My name is Daljit. Welcome to the show. This is the channel where I do tips, tricks, hacks for the game of Football Manager. I've been doing this for quite a while. I'm also a training and tactics moderator over at the SI forums. If you want to ask me questions, you can always jump in on a live stream. And yes, my live streams are going to be moving to a separate channel. You can check out the description below on how to get to that channel. Don't forget to hit the like and the subscribe button when you do get there. And you can always bring your tactics onto that show, and I'll try and help you out. There's going to be a show that's called Bring Your Tactics, where I live stream, and I will be, working on helping you out with your tactics. Yes, all that and more will be happening very, very soon. So let's get cracking. The very first unique challenge, well, this is an old favorite of mine, the DAFUGE challenge. The idea behind this challenge is to take a previously unplayable club, get them promoted through the tiers in England, ultimately winning all kinds of titles and honors along the way. The catch, you cannot have any badges, right? You got to start at the lowest tier for managerial experience. To play the challenge, you will need to load 4 feeder leagues to your save and a holiday mode manager. So at the start, you got a holiday mode manager. He holidays through one entire season. At the end of that season, what you want to do is you want to go to the England overview page, identify the 4 newly promoted clubs to the Vanarama National South or the Vanarama National North, and you want to be picking one of these clubs up. Generally, you make the challenge harder by picking a team with lower reputation. Then you take over that club from the Vanarama National South. They're newly promoted. The goal then is for you to bring honor and glory to that club. It can be a unique challenge. It's very simple to play. There's not too much fuss. You can add as many players to the league as you want. With England, sometimes you get a few more challenges as far as Brexit is concerned. It's a pretty easy and quite a standard challenge for most people to take if it's the first time they've approached challenges. Challenge number 2. Now, this is going to be a bit more hardcore. I have a friend of mine who is still on FM 17 or 16 and he's still playing this challenge. This is way, way more hardcore than most of the other challenges. This is the Youth Academy challenge. Now, depending on how difficult you want to make this, it can be a very rewarding challenge because at the end of the day, you become a master of youth development. But to play this challenge, you also need to manage a newly promoted side from the lowest league in a country. So you go through the same process, right? You go to, you add the feeder leagues of that country into the league, and then you look for a newly promoted club. You take over the club, but the caveat now with this, unlike the DAFUGE challenge, is you cannot have any transfers. You cannot repurchase players, and you can't loan players, because in a DAFUGE challenge it's a bit more easier because there are ways and means for you to, manipulate the loan market, for example. But in this particular case, you aren't allowed to sign any players. You aren't even allowed to sign players into the youth team. So all you have are the players from your youth club. So you are slowly developing facilities. You're slowly developing training facilities, youth coaching facilities, improving your youth recruitment, and bringing that club up on the back of your youngsters. So the long-term goal, of course, is to win all the honors that you can possibly win. And this is the Youth Academy Challenge. Our next challenge is the Ernst Happel Challenge. Now, this is a legendary manager who's won so many titles under his belt. He won the Dutch Cup, the Eredivisie title. This manager was famous for winning league titles in different countries, winning European Cups in different countries as well. So the idea here is to try and follow in his footsteps. And to do that, you need to progress your save through 5 main stages. You begin stage 1 in a league with a 3 to 3.5 reputation. You also need to pick a club which is in the lower half of the table, and your goal is to win a domestic cup with that club within 7 seasons. That brings you to the end of stage 1. Now, once you've won that cup, hopefully your reputation goes up and you can attract the attention of a bigger club within the same league. Stage 2, you need to win a league title with this second club. After you win your first league title, you can move on to a different country, but the reputation of that league has got to be the same. The goal now is to win 2 league titles and a domestic cup. After you finish stage 3 in your second country, you can move on to your third country. Now, once again, their league reputation has to be 3.5. The goal now is to try and win 3 league titles and 3 domestic cups. And along the way, between your first country and your second country, you should have tried to win a European Cup as well. You can only move on to the final stage of this challenge once you've won 6 league titles, 5 domestic cups, 1 European Cup with at least 2 different teams. Once that is done, you can move on to your fourth country with a league reputation of at least 4, and you can wrap things up with 2 league titles, a domestic cup, a European Cup, and at any stage, the Club World Cup. I'm doing this Untitled Challenge myself. I'm still stuck in Turkey. I'm still stuck in stage 1. So yes, it's definitely an interesting challenge. The next challenge is called the Pentagon Twist. It takes a familiar challenge, the Pentagon challenge, and adds a bit more spice. Essentially, the same thing applies. You try to win basically all the continental club competitions in all the confederations. So you can start out in any one of these confederations. You can use your uploaded databases if you want to, any unique databases that you have. And the goal here is to win the Champions League of the AFC, the CAF, the CONCACAF, the UEFA, the Copa Libertadores. There's only one caveat. You gotta make a player follow you, right? So he's got to be in at least 3 of those squads. So if you won the AFC Champions Cup, he's got to be in that squad. And he's got to follow you. If your journey takes you to the Copa Libertadores, he's got to follow you to the next club. You're going to have to sign him and bring him across. He's got to be in that squad as well. And then when you leave that club for another club in Europe, he's got to, follow you across as well. So how you do it is up to you, right? Of course, there are interesting ways of getting it done, but yeah, I leave it up to your imagination. This is the 4th challenge that I have for you. The next challenge is the hot potato challenge. This is a challenge that's meant to be done between friends for a good laugh. The idea here is to take you out of your comfort zone, right? Because most of the time when we play with our tactics, we like to use one tactic, maybe even 2 tactics for the majority of our career. Very few people actually go around changing tactics. This is meant to kick you out of your comfort zone. And at the end of the day, it makes you a better player in a sense, because it forces you to create new tactical systems out of need. Because the goal of this challenge is really simple. You attempt to get a side promoted to a new league, right? So you can start in the championship and get somebody promoted to the Premier League. Once that is done, you guys have to leave again, because then you have to take over another club in another league and try and get them promoted as well. So you are going to go from one league to another league looking for jobs. Now that's the first part of the challenge, right? So you're going to have to move between leagues trying to get sides promoted in one season. The second part of this challenge is more interesting, because in order for you to play the game, each manager takes over the save for 1 calendar month in the save. So if it's January in the save, you play all the games in January. When you play those games, you are not allowed to use a tactic that's come before. So if you start the save, your manager begins the save playing a 4-4-2. Now, once you finish that month, your friend takes over the save in February, and he cannot use the same 4-4-2. He can't even use the 4-4-2 as a formation shape anymore. In fact, nobody can for the rest of the season. So the next manager has to play a different shape. It could be a 4-3-3. And as this progresses, every manager is left with fewer formations that he can possibly use. The goal here is to finish an entire season, right, with as many different formations as possible. The fun factor here is that you could end up doing all kinds of other things to your friends along the way. Now, the interesting thing about this challenge, I've done it with twists as well, where I, disrupt the harmony of a club. I've even once sold my players, left my next manager with a burden because I've taken out three very key players in the squad, left him to go out and suddenly go out there and try and sign a whole bunch of new players to fit into a different system. So yes, there are many, many kinds of twists, and it's meant to be for laughs, and it's meant to be challenging at the same time because you are forced to come up with new formations all the time. I'm interested to know if you guys have any unique challenges that you use in your Football Manager saves. Share them in the comments below, and we can always point people to this video whenever they ask that question on the live stream. Now, don't forget, I stream 3 times a week. You want to check out the details in the comments below. I will be providing links as well on future shows when I live stream that will allow you to pop in your tactics. Yep, it's easy. You just follow the link, share the tactic, and it appears on the stream. And I will try and help you out with your tactics too. Meanwhile, you guys take care, stay safe, stay healthy. Once again, I want to thank everybody for their support. You guys have been absolutely fantastic. Stay safe. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.